Good morning. My name is Dr. Ira Ripstein, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Medical Education, and I'm proud to welcome you all to the University of Manitoba Bannatyne campus for the Max Rady College of Medicine's inaugural exercises and white coat ceremony. Please join me as we stand for the entrance of Rady Faculty of Health Sciences Dean Dr. Brian Postal, dignitaries, and members of the deanery, followed by the entrance of the class of 2022. If everyone could please remain standing for the national anthem, I invite Med 2 student Wendy Yushi Wang to lead us in the singing of O Canada, accompanied by Med 4 student Richard Zhang on the piano. Thank you, Wendy and Richard. It's now my privilege to invite Elder Margaret Lavallee to give a blessing and introduce the honor song. Margaret Lavallee is Elder in Residence at Amgonzawin, the Indigenous Institute of Health and Healing in the Rady Faculty of Health Sciences. Please remain standing for the honor song to be performed by Dr. Lisa Monkman.
Good morning. Good morning. Bonjour. Ujash kubik indijnikas makwandevdem saging dunji. I was given the honor again to do the opening prayer for this very exciting day for all the first-year medical students. So we welcome you to the University of Manitoba, the best university in Canada, and the best medical school in Manitoba, because I work here. The name that I was honored with is Water Lily, and I'm of the Bear Clan, and I'm originally from Saging First Nations. And I was thinking about when I was come here this morning, I was thinking about this voice that was in my mind. Not voices, my voice. And I was thinking, I've been here for the past 11 years, going on to 12 years, and this day is a very, very special day. Special day for all of you, because you're going to be here and see me from time to time in the next 4 years, hopefully. And it's just a time of to think about your achievements, what you have done to get here, and the hard work. Sometimes blood, sweat, and tears. But you're here, you made it, I congratulate you. So we will have a very, very special time in the next 4 years together. I want to say my prayer in my language. I think it's most appropriate to do that. First of all, I want to introduce you this song that Dr. Monkman will be singing to honor all of you who have done great work to get here. The song talks about the warrior who goes out to work for their community, to work for their families. And on behalf of your family, on behalf of the people of this province, of this city, we wish you the best, and we honor you for your work that you're going to be doing. So this warrior song is to honor you, and when you come back from your work as a warrior, and I don't mean fighting, I mean a warrior of medicine. And this is sometimes could be a challenge, I'm sure. And so that song is for you and your families. So I'm going to say my prayer, and Dr. Lisa is going to do the honor song, and maybe she'll say a few words. Kishemanido, kishimi gweche kedwant madizi winunje. Ebugosen among kishemanido, chijoina madogu gawi unakiot, mishkiki nin yok mishkiki kwek, kishimi gweche nin agok. Kishemanido atsu kan emishomis negokum. Ebugosen minan, chibiwichi da. Shimino kanob moat niwija nishnabe menanik. Great Spirit, grandfathers and grandmothers who have walked this sacred earth before us, we ask you to come and be with these people, these students that are going to be working as medicine people. And we ask from a good place in our hearts that they will look after our people, our Anishinaabe people, our Cree people, our Dene people, in their best way to look after our children and our people that come into hospital. Kishimiwech, all my relations, thank you.
So the song that I'm going to sing you, in honor of your achievements and your accomplishments and the honor of being here today, was gifted to a drum group that I used to sing with called Ni Benudin. It means summer wind. And it was gifted to us by a man named Peter Parisian. He's a knowledge keeper and an amazing singer. The song has no words, but the meaning of the song is to honor the knowledge and the work of the generations past, and to give thanks for the generations of today, and to send a prayer out into the world for the generations yet to come. And so as you embark on this journey in medical school, there's a lot of work and effort that went into getting you here today. So you've all earned the right and the privilege to be here. But at the same time, in order to honor your calling, your gifts, and the training you will receive, you have to be true to yourself, your beliefs, and always come to the world in a place of humility, with the goal to love and to serve the people who come to see you. Medicine is a beautiful profession. I stood in the same spot that you were all in back in 2000, and my life was forever changed. And with change comes some grief, because you have to let go of what was once your lives, but you have the beautiful opportunity to embrace newness and exciting adventures that are yet to come in your future. So the song that I'm singing, again, Peter Parisian, and he generously gifted the song to my drum group. When we sing in cycles of 4. So it's you'll hear the melody repeated 4 times, and that's to honor the 4 directions, the 4 aspects of yourself: your physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual. And there are a lot of sacred teachings that go along the sacred number of 4. So that's why we do that. Miigwech.
Thank you, Dr. Monkman and Elder Lavallee. The University of Manitoba campuses are located on the original lands of Anishinaabeg, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that were made on these territories. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we dedicate ourselves to move forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. Please be seated. I would like to begin by introducing our platform party and special guests. Dr. Brian Postal, Dean, Max Rady College of Medicine, Dean, Faculty of Health Sciences, and Vice Provost, Health Sciences. Dr. Tis Boersma, Canada Research Chair in Population and Global Health, University of Manitoba, and Director, Countdown to 2030 for Women's and Children's and Adolescents' Health. Dr. Perry Gray, Chief Medical Officer of Shared Health. Mr. Réal Cloutier, Interim President and CEO, Winnipeg Regional Health Authority. Dr. Terry Babak, Deputy Registrar, the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Manitoba. Dr. Christine Polomini, Vice Dean, Continuing Competency and Assessment, Rady Faculty of Health Sciences. Dr. Sally Longstaff, Associate Dean, Student Affairs, Undergraduate Medical Education, Max Rady College of Medicine. Dr. Aaron Chu, Associate Dean, Accreditation, Max Rady College of Medicine. Dr. Bruce Martin, Director of Admissions, Max Rady College of Medicine. Dr. Joseph Coffert, Professor Emeritus, Max Rady College of Medicine. Elder Margaret Lavallee, Rady Faculty of Health Sciences, and Dr. Lisa Monkman. I'm pleased to invite Dean Postal to bring greetings. In June 2016, Dr. Postal was reappointed for an additional 5-year term as Dean of the Max Rady College of Medicine, Dean of the Rady Faculty of Health Sciences, and Vice Provost Health Sciences. Dr. Postal is a graduate of the University of Manitoba. He received his MD degree in 1976 and the Royal College Fellowship in Community Medicine and in Pediatrics in 1981 and 1982, respectively. He was founding president and CEO of the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority, a position he held for 10 years. Dr. Postal also served as head of the Department of Pediatrics and of Community Health Sciences at the University of Manitoba and the director of the J.A. Hildy's Northern Medical Unit. His research, public works, and professional involvement focus on Aboriginal child health, circumpolar health, and human resource planning. Dr. Postal was inducted as a fellow in the Canadian Academy of Health Sciences in 2011 and inducted into the Order of Manitoba in 2012. In 2014, he was appointed inaugural chair of the Research Manitoba Board of Directors. Dr. Postal.
Thanks, Ira. Good morning, everybody. It's a great pleasure to welcome the class of 2022. You're here surrounded by people who take great pride in your being here. Be thankful, but indulge their curiosity. They're going to be very curious about what you're learning, what it means, what you're up to, and very soon they'll be asking for your medical opinion. You should refrain from that. You are entering a new world, a changing world with changing expectations, where today's knowledge, what you learn, could very well be irrelevant by the time you graduate. You're entering a new culture with its own strengths and foibles. There'll be a new vocabulary. The expectations are high. I will warn you that the next few weeks are relatively gentle, and sometimes that gives the impression that maybe it's not quite as bad as you might have expected. Soon thereafter, it will feel like you're drinking from a fire hose. You'll study like you've never studied before. You'll fear falling behind, and you'll fear being discovered as the imposter that you think you are. Some of you come a little bit shy, some of you come a little cockier. You're all terrified about what you're about to start, just like tens of thousands of medical students who preceded you. But be clear, you all have the horsepower, and we have a great deal of experience in creating competent physicians. In 4 short years, it will be a blink. You will be one. Now, an important part of that competence is in softer areas, but perhaps more important areas than some of the things we will be teaching you in an academic sphere. We will be emphasizing things like empathy, self-awareness, social accountability, resilience, humanism, ability to adapt to change, all as important aspects of your education. Be patient, it will come together, and relax. You won't be doing any brain surgery anytime soon. Enjoy the process. Remember, there are no entitlements. You must earn every day of your career the respect that you hope to get from your patients and from your colleagues. And it's an important lesson to remember. If there's a collective weakness in our profession, it's when there's a sense of entitlement that creeps in to our everyday activities, and we forget that our role is not about us, it's about the people we serve. We also want you to learn to recognize, certainly in our Canadian system, that those with the most needs deserve and should get the most care. In our community, Indigenous people have very large health gaps that we must address, and many of those gaps are rooted in systemic racism that has really permeated our country since the arrival of settlers. Don't be afraid of it, learn about it. Read the TRC report, if not the entire report, a book called A Knock on the Door, and reflect on your role in reconciling. We enjoy in this college many strong roles in Indigenous health, and you'll have many opportunities to learn about it. Indeed, 9 of you are Indigenous students, and we expect that you can learn a great deal from them and also from each other. You must learn to understand where some of these effects of ill health have come from and what your role in appreciating and ultimately serving those needs. In fact, your entire class is remarkably diverse, and we are proud of the fact that it reflects the community we serve. There are 60 males, 50 females, 9 Indigenous students, 4 students doing joint MD, PhD programs, 1 student in a bilingual stream, 24% of you have strong rural attributes, 22% are first-generation university attenders in your family. 37% are from families whose income are below the Canadian median. 43% of you consider yourselves part of a visible minority, and 27% have a first language other than English and French, and 5 of you declare a disability. These are enormous strengths. Learn about your diversity, learn about each other. There should be no they in your class. Indeed, the future of medicine lies in delivery through collaborative and interprofessional models. You will learn through all of our teaching that collaboration is much more effective than competition. Now, we also strive to provide you a learning environment that is safe and positive, and that sometimes has challenges. We are in the middle, frankly, of a cultural change within our profession that you will be part of. And we do have aspects still lingering in our profession that can be demanding, unforgiving, driven, and occasionally downright cranky. You will face those characteristics from time to time. We hope that you will be able to share those experiences with us in a way that allows us to change it. We particularly want you to help change it by not adopting those very habits that are clearly objectionable. So give yourself room to enjoy, to see families and friends, to have fun, and to grow.
I would now like to invite Dr. Perry Gray to say a few words on behalf of Shared Health.
Good morning, and welcome to you, the class of 2022. 38 years ago, I sat where you are sitting today, in a ceremony much like this. However, medicine has changed at a remarkable pace in the last 38 years. What we can do for patients has grown, not at a linear rate, but at an exponential rate. And I've had the privilege to participate in the care of patients and with my colleagues do things we thought unimaginable 38 years ago. So if you have a passion for treating and caring for patients, I say to you with all sincerity that it has never been better to be you. to be where you are now. I would love to trade places with you. You are going to be able to offer patients life, function, and hope in situations I only dreamed about. For the patient, there is no such thing as the good old days of medicine. For patients, today is the best there is, and tomorrow is even better. And that is the same for the physician who has a passion for patient care. It has never been better to be you. Now, better does not mean easy. The more we can do for patients, the more patients expect from us. As care becomes more complex and complicated, the individual is not enough. Medicine requires a team approach, a team of healthcare providers from many different professions, and you as a physician will be part of that team. Medicine continues to specialize, and increased specialization means multi-professional teams alone are not enough. To serve our patients, teams must be connected, supported, and integrated, not just in a hospital, not just in a clinic, not just in a city. It must happen across the province, and that is a founding principle of shared health. You can have the best of the past and an even better future. You will have that one-on-one doctor-patient interaction. You will see and experience the benefit of a multi-professional team. You will be part of a system that advances care so that one day, 30 years from now, if you still have a passion for treating patients, one of you will be standing in front of the class of 2052, wishing you could start again with them, because it will be better. Thank you, good luck, and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Gray. I'd now like to welcome another partner of the Max Rady College of Medicine and Rady Faculty of Health Sciences, Mr. Réal Cloutier, Interim President and CEO, to bring greetings on behalf of the Winnipeg Health Authority.
Thanks, Dr. Ripstein. Good morning, the class of 2022, families, faculty members, and special guests. I'm pleased to be here to congratulate the class of 2022 as they embark on the first stage of an extraordinary and fulfilling new phase of their lives. You enter into a healthcare system at a very exciting time of transformation and improvement across the region and indeed across the province. While not for the faint of heart, transformation of this scale brings with it unprecedented opportunity for innovation, creativity, and growth. Opportunity for the system as a whole and for you as individual practitioners. You will be learning the best parts of the old system and the innovative elements of the new. I think that's tremendously exciting. What remains constant, however, is our never-ending need to care for patients with respect and dignity, understand their stories and where they come from and why. In past decades, new physicians entered a healthcare system where changes in technology and treatments were rapid, but where systemic change was slow. How have times changed. Today, it's the healthcare system itself that's undergoing rapid change, and new physicians are ideally placed to make a positive impact and contribution. It's going to be your voices, your expertise, and your perspectives that help us shape the healthcare system into something more nimble, efficient, and patient-centric than ever before. It almost makes me wish I had another 30 years in healthcare to see how this all unfolds. You see a theme here, right? But I have the utmost confidence as I look around the room today that the future of healthcare is in good and capable hands. Today's white coat ceremony is a celebration of not only achievement, but shared commitment. As a father and father-in-law to two very capable physicians, I know that the road you are on today can seem long and even arduous at times, but I also know that no one walks that road alone. Each student owes much to a teacher or a mentor, or has been buoyed by critical times by the support of family, friends, and classmates. Today is also about your village, the people who have raised you up as you embarked on this important journey and this important step. The importance of that support system does not end today. Many challenges lay ahead, and that will test your skills, strengths, and yes, your perseverance. And so I encourage you as you pursue a career of caring for others to always take the time to care for yourself and to remember you're not alone. The same family and friends and colleagues who helped you get this far will be there to help you move further still. And your new colleagues have a vested interest to support you as you go forward. Today is a day of celebration, a day of pride. For the first time, you'll slip on the white coat that has been the goal of so much effort, so much commitment, and for many of you, I'm sure, so much coffee that helped you focus on those long, late night hours of study. Today, you begin your journey in a healthcare system focused more than ever on providing improved patient access and quality of care. I want you to know that your work alongside our physicians, nurses, allied health professionals, and administrative leaders is important. It is needed and it is valued. On behalf of the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority, I offer heartfelt congratulations to members of today's distinguished group as you complete your studies and work to graduate as physicians in 2022. May you find fulfillment in your work as you bring your considerable skills and abilities to bear in the service of others. And may you always take pride in the efforts and sacrifices that have earned you the right at long last to wear the white coat. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you, Mr. Cloutier. Our next speaker plays a key role in the profession of medicine. I'm happy to invite Dr. Terry Babbitt, Deputy Registrar, College of Physicians and Surgeons of Manitoba, to bring greetings on behalf of the college.
Elder Margaret, Dean Postal, Dr. Ripstein, ladies and gentlemen, class of 2022. I have the privilege and pleasure of representing Dr. Anna Jomick and the 2,800 members of the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Manitoba as we welcome the class of 2022 into our medical profession. These ladies and gentlemen are joining one of society's most respected professions. A profession, the success of which is measured by trust and respect and lifelong learning. Our patients bring us their greatest treasure, their health. They share with us their deepest secrets. We share in their joy, and sadly we share in their sorrow. We are part of their most significant decision-making processes, and we ultimately have input into the outcomes of their lives. There are those who would say that physicians are people of power, prestige, and privilege. That's probably true. But for those of us who practice, we realize medicine is a tremendously humbling experience. Your college today is joyful with your excitement and with your anticipation. we are pleased to welcome you. But please remember that your college will expect that you strive daily to prove to your patients and their families that you are worthy of their respect, their trust, and their admiration, and that you engage in lifelong learning to provide quality medical care. And you will make this promise when you recite the Hippocratic Oath. It is our pleasure to congratulate you. We extend a special congratulations to your families, especially your parents, because we are aware that this was not a solo effort, nor will it ever will be. Welcome aboard one of life's greatest journeys, the life of medicine. Best wishes and good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Babak. It's now my pleasure to introduce the distinguished guest who will give this year's Allen Class Memorial Address. Dr. Tis Burma is a professor and Canada Research Chair in Population and Global Health at the Centre for Global Public Health, Rady Faculty of Health Sciences, University of Manitoba. He is the director of the International Countdown to 2030 for Women's, Children's, and Adolescents' Health. Dr. Burma has had more than 30 years of experience in global public health and research programs, including 10 at national and district levels in Africa. He directed the World Health Organization's work on health information and evidence for 12 years and has published extensively on HIV/AIDS, maternal and child health, health information systems, and statistics. In Africa, he worked for UNICEF in primary health care, as well as healthcare monitoring and evaluation. In the early 1990s, he was a technical lead of a research and intervention project on HIV/AIDS in northwestern Tanzania. With his Canada Research Chair funding, he is returning to the same district of Tanzania to study whether healthcare is being provided equitably. A national of the Netherlands, Dr. Burma received his medical degree from the University of Groningen and a PhD in medical demography from the University of Amsterdam. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Tis Burma.
Good morning. It's a great pleasure to be here and deliver the Allen Class short lecture at this white coat ceremony. I was educated in the Netherlands and had to ask what the real meaning was of this ceremony, as I could not recall a similar event in my own medical school. In fact, what I did remember is that we started at the age of 18 based on our grades in high school, and were in a sort of auditorium with 500 students, and we were told, look at your neighbor to the left, look at your neighbor to the right, you won't see them next year. So that was a different system, but I do understand you've really worked hard and excelled to be here and in this class of 2022. I also noted that you are not class of 2018 because you're starting now, you're class of 2022. So it seems there's very little flexibility in the end date. Like with our, when I started, we could stretch it out, could take a year off and so on, but apparently 2022 is it. That may look a long and winding road today, but it's just a little over 1,400 days and probably an indefinite number of working nights, but it's likely to pass really fast. So where will this journey bring you? Most likely you'll end up in practicing one or another form of clinical care as general practitioner or specialist. But several of you may end up in different places than you originally had planned. At least that's what happened to me. I studied medicine with the intention to go and practice in the tropics. At that time, 4 years of theory preceded clinical practice. Things went fine until I got to surgery and figured out that I either have a great passion or great skills in working with my hands. In fact, I was more interested in the numbers: population mortality, causes of death, morbidity, quality care measurement, inequalities, than in the individual healthcare. My passion was in epidemiology and public health. As one missionary doctor explained under the mango tree in Africa in a community health session, he said, when you work in the clinic, you always got to remember that famous formula, letter C over Q. You all know this formula, C over Q? When the doctor has these long queues of patients waiting for him, he must see over the queue to see in the community what's out there and also think about prevention. So I ended up working many years in Eastern Africa, primary health care, HIV, and have been practicing global public health for a decade or 3. And this included many years as head of health statistics at the World Health Organization in Geneva. It was a very privileged position where I was able to interact with governments, civil society, media, and academics on information and evidence for health. I was fortunate to be in that position because during this period, the world has experienced the most dramatic changes in health ever. At WHO, we could document those changes, and we often forget too easily what has happened in the past decade and a little more when we get bogged down in the problems of today. Let me test you a little bit. You don't have to raise your hand or anything. Just today, 5.6 million children die every year in 2016. This is an estimate. Children under 5.6 million. That's 15,000 per day. And more than 95% of those die because of preventable causes. Early neonatal deaths, diarrhea, malnutrition, pneumonia, etc. In the year 2000, it wasn't 5.6 million, it was 10 million children died. So within a period of 15 years, in spite of the world population growing, almost half the number of child deaths. It shows something can be done. In the year 2000, India, which is probably now the most populous country in the world, women had 3 to 4 children. And they were approaching the 1 billion people mark in the country. If I ask you, how many children do women in India have today? I bet many of you will be off. I've tested this before. It's 2.3 children per woman. Now, the replacement level of fertility is 2.1 children. So an enormous transition has taken place in India. If I ask you, what's life expectancy in the world today? Is it 51 years? Is it 61 years? Is it 71 years? No, it's not 51. It's not 61. It's 71 years. If I ask you which country has longer life expectancy, Singapore or Canada? Singapore, because Singapore has overtaken Canada's life expectancy and is one of the top in the world. I could go on, but I realize not all of you have the same passion for statistics as I have. So health and medicine are fascinating, and I'd like to congratulate you for choosing that topic, because it's a beautiful intersection between science and practice. You have many options in medicine itself. In the profession, you can go clinical, you can go preventive, you have specializations in public health. And that, of course, makes it already a very attractive choice. Second, medicine is full of innovations on the supply side. Diagnostics, medicines, treatments, genetics. And the conventional wisdom is constantly challenged. For instance, even today, and I had these debates when I was in medical school in the 70s, the debate about, for instance, what's the role of salt in cardiovascular disease is constantly being challenged. And some people refer to it as the so-called salt wars. It's just an academic debate. But of course with public health implications and individual healthcare implications. Or just recently in The Lancet, a paper appeared questioning the dosage of cardioaspirin, the magic 81 milligram, which seems to work quite well if you're only 70 kilos or less, but it doesn't really do much above that. Now, this kind of challenges you will constantly face, I think, when we practice medicine, so we have to keep up with science. And then third, there's the health demand side. There are enormous changes in what the population needs. We talk about, of course, aging, fertility declining, but also new challenges like substance abuse at very large scale, environmental and climate change, new discoveries. So it is a fascinating profession, and we really have to, once you're finished after 2022, I don't think we're done with our learning. Every day we need to learn, as somebody just said. So I assume most of you will go into clinical practice, but I just wanted to share 4 points on sort of from the public health perspective. So first of all, health and disease are not only a biomedical issue, but also a social issue. Huge inequalities exist between countries, but also within countries. And Canada is no exception. While life expectancy of the population is close to 81 years, the indigenous population has a life expectancy that's about 12 years shorter. That, I think, whether you do individual or population health care, should always be kept in mind, and we must do something about it. Second, technical interventions are necessary, but not always sufficient. The technical revolution will advance and greatly impact medicine as it is today. The wearables, the digitization, the individualized healthcare based on phenotype and genotype. I'm jealous of you because you're going to experience all this, and there will be many challenges. Sometimes also patients will come to you and they'll be terribly well informed because of other ways to get the information. And it will be challenging and I think fascinating as a way forward. But the mental, physical interactions remain very complex and challenging. And I believe this will stay in a holistic approach in healthcare, where the doctor sees the patient as a human being as a whole in its social context remains critical. Third, health is a human right. The human right to health means that everyone has the right to the highest attainable standard of physical and mental health, which includes access to all medical services, sanitation, adequate food, decent housing, healthy work conditions, and a clean environment. In reality, this beautiful statement brings many difficult challenges. There are whole populations that have poor health status and poorer services, and sacrifices need to be made to reach all with equitable health services, something often referred to as universal health coverage. And that's not just insurance, no, that means all people and communities receive high-quality essential services without incurring financial hardship. In practice, every individual deserves the best possible care. But as treatments and the associated costs advance, many ethical issues arise. And awareness and reflection on those issues by all health practitioners is crucial. Fourth, health is an industry. Does the world spend more on military or on health? Well, almost 10% of the world economy goes to health, government, private sources. $6.5 trillion, nearly 1,000 per person per year. That is almost 10,000 in the US, the highest, and just $12 per person in Eritrea. But on health, we spend almost 4 times as much than on the military. That is a relief, I hope. But this shows that health is one of the most highly valued commodities by people. It's not just survival. We want to feel good. And we were willing to pay for services, be it modern or traditional services, or in the pharmacy store around the corner. And the highest health expenditure in a lifetime is in the last year before we die. In fact, it's an exponential increase. The health industry also includes the pharmaceutical industry, which is essential to take us forward, but is also known to produce many Me Too drugs. And for those Me Too drugs, you are the target. Practitioners have the obligation to remain critical of the science behind innovations and old remedies, and must be aware of the cost to the individual and the society of treatments. Manitoba is a special place. It's a great and reputable university with high-quality clinical medicine, but also strong global health and health research. I'm personally very honored to have become part of this university and hope that you are too, and wish you 4 years of inspiration, learning, and eventually success. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Burma. We are so pleased that you are able to join us to welcome the class of 2022 and share your global health perspective with our province's future physicians. It's now the time for an award presentation. The Alan H. Lipson Memorial Award in Medicine is presented to a student who has demonstrated participation and leadership through volunteer and extracurricular activities, either in the Max Rady College of Medicine or at the community at large. I would like to call upon Ms. Avis Raber, widow of the late Dr. Alan Lipson, who will present the award. This year, we present the award to Ms. Alyssa Archibald. Congratulations, Alyssa. We now move on to the white coat ceremony for the Max Rady College of Medicine class of 2022. Through ceremonies and rituals, society passes on its values and publicly acknowledges the importance of certain transitions in the lives of its members. Such events provide inspiration and help to outline society's expectations. The Arnold P. Gold Foundation White Coat Ceremony welcomes entering medical students and helps establish a psychological contract for the practice of medicine. This event emphasizes the importance of compassionate care for the patient as well as scientific proficiency. The White Coat Ceremony was initiated on August 20th, 1993 at the Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons. Currently, a white coat ceremony or similar event takes place at a majority of Canadian and American schools and internationally. I'd like the cloakers to please come forward. Dr. Brian Postal, Dr. Terry Babak, Dr. Perry Gray, Dr. Tees Burma, Mr. Réal Cloutier, Dr. Sally Longstaff, Dr. Bruce Martin, Dr. Aaron Chu, Dr. Christine Palomini, and myself. Parents, on the off chance you would like to take a photo, your children will be coming up in groups of 10. It's alphabetical, you know where they are. So come up when they come up, and then please go back to your seats. Okay, each student will introduce themselves and receive their cloak.
Basıdağın
Bilal Ahmed,
Rachel Elder,
Samar Al-Hadidi,
Emily Anderson Grégoire, Marissa Antoniuk. Corley Barnes.
Liam Barrett. Deepinder Betty.
Mike Berry.
Jace B. Thomas Boyko.
Lindsay Bristow.
Brianne Brownstone. Kiana Cadogan.
Luis Castro.
Monica Sinkowski.
Cody Chirpischuk.
Meredith Chu.
Michael Cowop.
Diana Craig.
Lydia Sigletti.
Matthew Daniel.
Rajan Dollywall.
Francis Diaz. Dustin DeLay.
Ann Ding.
Nathan DeLucas.
Jacqueline Donner.
Kaylee Dukas Melchin.
Christopher Dutka. Skylar Eastman.
Francis Aishon.
Nadel Tobke.
Omar El Ghazari.
Andrew Fast.
Jed Frankel.
Jordan Gallowitz. Ian Gerard.
Dara Hallock.
Wade Heinrichs. Zachary Hebert.
Haley Hildebrand.
Julie Jungmin Hong.
Calvin Hong.
Hessam Hosseini.
Chiming Hu.
Malazi Ma'am.
Alvin James.
Navjot Kaur. Kirsten Kettler.
David Kim.
Stephanie King.
Asha Kotari. Albie Kusno.
Jenny Labrie.
Angus Lau.
Amy Lee. Taylor Legato. Katrina Leong.
Nicholas Lasanti.
David Liu.
Sandini Lockman.
Amanda Mathwig.
Thomas Meyer.
Shiva Memon.
Bitian Meng.
Juan Mohadeb.
Ashley Montour.
Chris Moskal.
Stuart Nadarak. Andrew Nashid. Robin Nurse.
Songkyu Park.
Ryan Patterson.
Daniel Pena.
Egan Peters.
Brittany Plant. Sandra Ragib.
Talia Ripstein.
Quinn Robertson Stovall.
Heather Rasong. Danae Rott. Rachel Redney.
Luke Sadler.
Adara Satos.
Ryan Sade.
Melissa Sekundiak. Parisa Selsale.
Shahir Shahat.
Derek Sin.
Eva Slight.
Nathan Smith.
Justina Solomon.
Micah Summer.
Andrea Soriano.
Matthew Steffi.
Ernal Sood.
Katie Takach.
Fabrizio Tarantola. Fernando Villaseñor. Amir Busugi.
Sarah Wang.
Jacob Wyeth Mueller.
Avery White.
John Damon.
Gabrielle Wilson.
Angie Woodbury.
Janet Ewan.
Raphael Zaki.
Olivia Joe.
Okay, congratulations to the class of 2022. Dr. Postal will now lead us in the Hippocratic Oath. All physicians in the audience are invited to rise and join in the recitation of the oath.
Thank you. I have to say the families were quite restrained, but come back in 4 years, it gets louder. Are you ready? Now being admitted to the profession of medicine, I solemnly pledged to consecrate my life to the service of humanity. We'll do this together now. I will give respect and gratitude to my deserving teachers. I will practice medicine with conscience and dignity. The health and life of my physicians will be my first consideration. I will hold in confidence all that my patient confides in me. I will maintain the honor and noble traditions of the medical profession. My colleagues will be my brothers and sisters. I will not permit consideration of race, religion, nationality, party politics, social standing to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect of human life, even under threat, or acknowledged contrary to the laws of humanity. These promises I make freely and upon my honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Postal. To conclude today's inaugural day exercises, and just before you go up to the second floor for a complimentary lunch reception, I'd like to ask Dean Postal to say a few final words.
Well, congratulations, and thank you all for coming. We'll, of course, hope to see you up on the mezzanine. I was just saying that in the first few phrases of the oath, you were already beginning to act like doctors. So thank you very much.